Hi everyone, and welcome to the Lincoln Area High School Basketball Media Days. I'm your moderator, Kate Cordes. We're really excited to have student athletes and coaches from the Lincoln area here to celebrate and showcase what their season's going to be about. So I'm just going to ask them all to introduce themselves, say your name, your grade, and your position, and then we'll go to you all for questions. So go ahead.
My name is Barrett Bosiger. I'm a junior and I play guard.
My name is Josh Bornschlegel, and I'm a junior guard.
My name is Chris Garner Jr. I'm a sophomore. I play guard and forward.
Jimmy Moats, head coach, fourth season. Just a couple words here real quick before we get into questions. This is a really cool deal for us. Any chance we can promote our program and get our name out there, we're going to take advantage of it. I think we got a lot to look forward to this year in regards to the season, especially with all the depth and returners we have coming back from the state tournament team last year. And I think these guys are itching to get started, and come Monday, we'll get to work and get ready to go for November 30th.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to go to you all for questions now. There's going to be two people on the sides holding the mic, so just raise your hand. They'll bring you the microphone, and we can get started.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest key to your team's success this season?
Well, I think every year is different in regards to kind of what you define as your key to your success. I think it's important that you try to stay healthy throughout the year. I mean, things are going to pop up. It happened last year. We had some injuries in January, and actually a couple of these guys evolved into bigger roles as a result, so that's kind of when things took off. I think for us, it's just maintaining consistency and not necessarily focus on the big picture. Obviously, we want to talk about playing in March and so forth, but I think for us, we're going to use the mantra day by day, week by week, but we also talk about, we're using the cliche, no stop signs this year, because that moment you stop and kind of realize where you're at and how things are going, maybe we get caught in the moment, but we just got to continue with the process each day, game by game. And in the last 3 years I've been at Norris, our seasons really came down to tenths of wild card points in terms of our postseason fate. So obviously every game on the schedule is important for us. Our conference is really good again. In terms of its strength, I think we had 4 state tournament teams last year at the EMC. So obviously the league will be good, but I think Class B in general is pretty even keeler, where there's about 7-8 teams going in where you feel like they've got a shot to do something.
Barrett, last year you averaged the most points on your team, 14.9. How does that carry into a big junior season for you?
Well, this year it's less. I'm not really focused on points or scoring the most. For me, it's more about team success and getting to that ultimate goal of a state championship. And I'll do whatever I can to get us there.
How are you guys going to build chemistry with a relatively young team that will translate to the next couple years?
Well, I mean, we might look young on paper, but 9 of these guys were on the team a year ago in that postseason run. So, I mean, granted, we only have 2 seniors, but these 3 guys up here all started a year ago, and 2 of these guys are juniors, and junior here is a sophomore. But they played a lot of minutes. I think the chemistry thing, obviously, you touched on that. I think it's gotten better since a year ago. We did a lot of things in the summer to spend time together, a couple road trips, overnight trips that we did. But I think the big thing for us is a lot of these guys, they get along on and off the court. I mean, there's some pretty tight bonds there, and I think you're going to see some of that carry over to the court, which I think is important. But I think ultimately these guys got one thing on their mind, and that's getting wins.
Chris, as a now sophomore, you played a lot last year as a freshman. What's the role that you've grown into now as a sophomore, seeing a lot of playing time?
Kind of being more of that leader guy. Like when times get tough, I can help, lead some of the younger guys or the guys that don't have enough experience through those hard times and maybe successful times too.
What are you guys looking to improve on from a pretty good season last year that included a berth to the state tournament?
Well, we don't want to have to shoulder Barrett's load offensively, and for that matter, junior. I think we've got more balance with our personnel offensively. We need some guys to kind of step up in that third, fourth scoring role. But more so, I think the more balance we have, the better. And where we were really good last year is we had balance when we won games. We didn't have to rely on one guy scoring 25 a night. And I think that's where we can, develop some of those guys as the season goes along. But I do think we've got a deeper roster in regards to our personnel. And obviously one of the things that's going to change some things this year for Class B is the shot clock coming into play, where that's going to maybe change some things for us in terms of how we play. We played 3 games last year at the shot clock. I thought it benefited us when we played the shot clock. And these guys have been through that. So therefore, we're going to change some things maybe in terms of how we play in regards to that. But I do think that'll help us. But I also think too, just we've got a deeper bench than we had a year ago.
So as kind of leaders on this team, how can you guys have a big impact on some of your younger teammates who are kind of new to the varsity level this year?
I'd say just, the season is full of ups and downs. So, and it's a lot easier, when we're having success as a team and all that. But when times get tough, just leaders of, us 3 here, of people that have, been through it, we just can be there to pick them up and be positive and help the team continue to move forward.
Okay, I have one for you guys. If each of you could answer just what are your personal goals for this season and how they fit into the larger goal of winning a state championship.
I mean, my goal really is there's not like a number that you can put on it, but I just want to be a guy that can help, and I just want to be able to do what I can do and help my team and put us in positions to win.
My goal is to win a state championship. Norris has had a history of making it to the state tournament a lot, and usually we can't finish, but I think we can be that group that gets it done.
Yeah, and for me, just like I said earlier, it's not about like the numbers. It's more about like where we want to be, when everything's said and done, and that's, of course, winning a state championship.
What gives you guys that confidence of being a state championship team? It seems like it's been floated around a lot. You guys were there last year, the state tournament. You guys all came back for another year. Is that what's going to lead to that state championship, all gelling together?
Yeah. The group's just coming together. We've all played together since we were young, and we know we can win, but we haven't proven anything yet. So we think that we can go out and just work our hardest, and things will take care of themselves.
Obviously, you talked about injuries a little bit. Long way to go until March. What do you see being the biggest challenge for this team from now until the state tournament?
I think one of the challenges that I foresee is just making sure that as a coaching staff, these guys don't get caught overlooking things. It's literally game by game. And I think the bullseye has gotten bigger for us. And I think part of that's due to the fact that the run we made last year in February to get to Lincoln. And everybody kind of saw it and kind of saw that Norris was, made this magical run, if you want to call it that, with a young group. But now that this group's a year older, how do we handle those expectations? We're not going to run from it. I think you got to talk about it if you want it to happen. And we've told these guys this, and we've made it clear that that's one of our major goals. But then again, we've also got to get that opportunity. And we had our cup of coffee down there last year and came up short against a really good Platteview team. But I think just from a program standpoint, we've only got 2 state tournament wins in the last 20 years. So I think that's in the back of our mind too, is what do we have to do to get this thing to the next level? And I think that's the challenge I've tried to send to these guys, because I think our community's excited about the year, obviously, but how do we embrace that? How do we move forward with it? Are we just going to be satisfied with what we did the last year or so? And I think there's more there. And then I think that's the challenge for us, to see if we can get more out of these guys as the season moves forward.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Coach. You got a big
Love it.
3 that are all at the table. What do they all bring to the table this season, all 3 of them?
They all 3 bring something different, but for us, it's a unique situation because they're all underclassmen up here, but they all started a year ago. And, you know, they've all three gotten there in a different way. Junior last year was thrown in from game one and was a significant contributor right away and ended up starting right after Christmas. Josh started for us last year at the point, and then this year he's probably going to play more off the ball. So his role is going to change a little bit, but we want to get him in a position where he's more of a scoring threat than where he's got to handle the basketball. Barrett's been a 2-year starter for us and an all-state kid in terms of what he's done the last couple years. And, I mean, his ability to shoot the basketball, but more importantly now I think he's developed his game where he's more of a 3-level scorer now. He's became a better defender. But also, too, these guys need to be more vocal leaders, too. I mean, there's got to be some accountability and responsibility at this group if we really want to truly take a step. And I think these three guys can all bring that to the table in terms of what they can do. But they're kind of the cornerstones of our program right now. And I think they've earned the right to be those guys because the time they put in away from the gym in the off season on their own. And now that we're getting ready to go, I mean, now it's time to mesh those pieces together and see what we can do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
and welcome back to Lincoln Area High School Basketball Media Days. We are now joined by Lincoln Southwest, so I'm going to let him introduce himself. Can you give us your name, your grade, and your position?
Yeah, I'm Mike Nagoy, class of 2025. I'm actually at Lincoln Southeast, and I'm a point guard.
Southeast, my bad. Okay, and then we're going to go to you guys for questions. So we're going to have 2 people on each side. Raise your hand, and don't ask the question until you get the mic, please. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, what is the goal that you have this year, both individually as a team, and what can you do to make sure that you guys accomplish that goal?
Yeah, a team goal I have this year is definitely just going back to state like we did last year, but also just like getting past that first round for sure. And to do that, we just need to stay consistent, stay together, just be as a team. And an individual goal I have is just basically being the best player I could be, making an all-city team, all-state team, or honorable mention, just anything I can get. And I just need to just keep working, staying consistent, and just keep playing with my brothers, really.
What do you think your guys' team culture is going to look like this year?
Our team culture definitely similar to last year. We're gonna be like a high intense team, loud, laughs, smiles. We say a lot of jokes, really close with each other, like a lot of childhood friends. So definitely just like a fun team, and we're just glad to play with each other.
So you mentioned a lot of your teammates are your childhood friends. What does it mean to you to get to play with people that you've known for so long?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, like, we've been playing with each other since I'd say like 4th, 5th grade. I mean, I know them so close, and just being able to play with them for their last years, because I play a lot of seniors, so for their last years, I mean, it means a lot to me just to play one more time with them.
You guys are going back to state, as you said, or well, trying to. A lot of seniors on this team, so a lot of experience returns. More so, winning that state championship is the overall goal, but what are your overall expectations for this year's team?
Man, my expectations are very high for this team. I mean, with all the seniors we got, we have a lot of togetherness with each other, and I just feel like our expectations are just for sure getting the state, like, no doubt, and just going to that state championship for sure with each other.
What do you see being the biggest challenge for your team throughout this entire season?
Definitely just the adversity we're gonna have to get through, just cause we have a lot of seniors, but it's still kind of like a newer team. Like, for example, like me, I'm playing a bigger role this year, and so are my other seniors teammates, cause some people just transferred out. So just like the bigger roles, and just getting to know, like, play and get the feel of that basketball we got to play.
Hi, Mike. What do you think your biggest strength as a player is, and what's an area of your game where you think you can continue to grow this year and help the team win?
I'll say like the best thing I'm good at. I'm a shooter, spot-up shooter, knockdown shooter. I'm a very downhill player as well. I like to get downhill, get to the cup, get some leak-out dunks. If I can get better at more aggressive defense, we can push up on a little bit more. I've been working on that, and yeah, just pushing up on defense, full court. So I like to say I can improve
on. What do you think your team would want to do differently this year, since you lost state basketball last year? So how are you guys going about things differently this year to improve as a team?
Definitely finishing out games. A key to losing our game last year in state was we had like a lot of great runs in that game, and we just didn't finish it out, and Gretna figured out to finish out that game. So I think just keeping our foot on the pedal all game long, I think we'll be good.
I have one for you. Basketball is a long season. How are you guys conditioning, training, preparing to avoid burnout?
Definitely just taking care of ourselves, like, every day, like not even just at school, like even at home we can get some stretches in, keeping our bodies good, ice bathing as a team, and just taking care of ourselves really after everything we do, not just games.
How would you describe your style of leadership?
I've been getting better at leadership. I usually was a quiet one my first 2 years at Southeast, but I'm starting to step into a bigger role, be loud, and just give the good advice and the positive, even like just bringing my teammates up at all times. We never want to bring them down, so just bringing them up in anything they do, really.
How do you hold your teammates accountable, and how do they hold you accountable?
My teammates hold me accountable about like everything I do. Like they'll maybe shoot me a text some days, be like, "Hey, we're gonna need you here," or they'll maybe lift my head up sometimes, put my head's down, and just the way I hold them accountable is just the same thing. Like if I see them down, I'll be like, "Oh, bro, you're good shot," or like just next play, just keep them going.
Mike, you mentioned a lot of your friends are seniors that you've grown up playing with. Is it going to be emotional at the end of the season when the season comes to an end, whether it's happy or sad, of that's the last time you're going to play with those guys?
Definitely. I mean, I don't like to talk about it, but definitely I feel like it's going to be emotional. Not really the emotional type, but maybe it'll happen. I'm not sure.
Okay, thanks. That's the last for us.
Thank you guys.
Welcome back to the Lincoln Area High School Basketball Media Days. We're super excited to be joined by Waverly here. I'm going to have them introduce themselves. If you guys would say your name, year, and position. Let's start.
I'm Keaton Ryan. I'm a senior. I'm a guard.
I'm Reese Bader. I'm a senior. I'm a forward.
Coach Garrett Borcher, head coach.
Okay, awesome. And then we'll go to you guys for questions. So we're going to have two people on the side with mics. Raise your hand. Please don't ask the question until you're handed the mic, but we're ready to get started with questions.
What are you guys' goals for this upcoming season?
The goal is to always make state, but I mean, you want to set yourself up in the best position for that district final game in March or February, so you can get to state, and once you get there, anything can happen.
Yeah, piggybacking off of what Keaton said, I think these guys realize the most important thing in our program is practice. They understand that getting better each day is the goal. So if we can get better and improve each day in practice, we pride ourselves on 3 pillars: effort, attitude, and toughness, and just do those 3 things day in and day out, regardless of the highs and the lows. The rest will take care of itself, and we're going to be playing our best ball in February and our best ball in March.
Coach, you held a lot of teams to the high 30, low 40 range last year. What emphasis will you have on defense this season?
Yeah, we feel in our program, we feel defense and rebounding are the 2 most important things. And in high school basketball, it's usually the team that makes the most layups wins the game. So we're going to practice defense, rebounding, and transition defense every single day. If you can make teams beat you by taking contested 15-footers, we feel like we're going to have a good chance to win, and we're going to rebound the misses, and then we're going to go play offense. But it all comes back to effort, right? That's why it's one of our pillars. If you practice hard every day, any defense you play will work. You just got to play hard.
Last year, playing with a lot of seniors, and now you two are both seniors. How do you guys expect to kind of go from a backseat role to kind of being vocal leaders on the team and building that culture for the guys below you?
I would just say like the last 2 years, we've been behind those seniors, so we've got to play against them every day at practice, and so that made us better by just playing those guys.
Yeah, he pretty much said it all right there. It was a great group of guys. The last 2 years, they did a lot for our program, went to state twice, and you play behind those guys, you get better. They're all good players. A lot of them went to college to play basketball, so you just get better playing behind those guys.
What schools are you guys most excited to go up against this season?
I'd say we're pretty excited for our first game against Norris at home. That's a conference opponent. And then also our Jamboree game's coming up soon, so it's kind of fun to see what our team has to offer and kind of what we can put out there for our first showing.
I would agree, just playing Norris game 1, like a little rivalry game, conference opponent.
Yeah, well, and we talk to them as a staff every single day. The next one's the biggest one. We're going to get better today. We're going to get better today. So if today's practice, we're going to get better in practice. If we got a chance to play a game and compete, we're going to compete. Whatever opportunity presents itself that day is the opportunity we're going to take, whether it's practice or a game.
Coach, you mentioned a lot of hard work. What other parts of the culture would you describe Waverly with?
Yeah, we've kind of established our motto this year is it takes what it takes. And what that means is our program has 3 pillars. It's effort, attitude, and toughness. So the effort kind of takes care of the hard work piece of things. Attitude, you wear Waverly on your chest. You want to have a positive attitude every single day. And toughness. We want to be, regardless of who we play, we want people to say Waverly is the toughest team we played all year. And hopefully that shows itself by the way our guys carry themselves on the court and off the court.
What challenges do you guys see for this upcoming season, and how do you work to get past those?
A challenge I would say is experience. We lost a great group of seniors last year, and so we don't have much experience coming back. And that'll come with time. You get those guys out there, and we got a good group of guys, and I think that we can overcome that and bring it all every day.
And then I would just say making sure we're locked in every day. It doesn't really matter like what team you are. It's really hard to stay locked in and give your 100% effort every day.
Yeah, I think both those guys said it. Basketball's a long season, so it's hard for coaches, let alone 16, 17-year-old kids to stay locked in for the entire season. There's the highs and the lows. So it's easy to play when things are going well, but in a long season when things are going bad, just stay in the course and trust in the process.
Coach Borcher, you have a lot of young talent, but not a lot of experience from those guys. So what's your plan to get those guys ready and so they have some good varsity experience and can play at that level?
Yeah, number one, we got a lot of great kids in our program. The guys that we have are really good players, but as you said, there's not much experience at the varsity level. But a lot of these guys have played a lot of basketball in the summer. They had a great JV season last year, so they've played basketball at a high level. You know, at the end of the day, like we said, practice is going to be the most important thing, but you got to play some games. These guys got to get in front of a crowd. They got to get in front of our EMC opponents, the toughest conference in Class B, and they got to play games. And that's the only way you can get better at some point is to play games. And these guys are ready for the challenge. They put in a lot of hard work. They're ready for it. And we always say it, the game rewards toughness, and we've got a lot of tough kids in our program.
As you guys are now stepping into a leadership position on the team, how do you plan on kind of maintaining a team chemistry, and what do you think is the most important thing with all the underclassmen coming in to play at a varsity level?
I would just say it's to teach them how to play hard every chance they get, and to you got to teach certain people certain ways. So like make sure you don't teach them on the wrong way to where they get frustrated and kind of shut down.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we played a lot this summer, and we got a good group of guys. You know, you'll find all of us hanging out off the court. So I mean, we got team chemistry, and us two kind of just have to figure out how to be a leader and what kids can take and how you can make everyone better on the court.
Your coach mentioned it's a long season. How do you guys plan on resting your bodies and staying healthy throughout that season?
You know, we lift a lot. We got a great strength program with Coach Harms up there. And so we get our bodies right, and then, you know, we have like some treatment we'll massage guns and stuff like that, you know. Good training staff too, so we always find a way to do that.
Norris talked a little bit about the shot clock being introduced in Class B basketball. How is that going to affect your gameplay this season?
Yeah, that's been a hot topic. It's going to affect everybody the same way. So everybody's going to learn. Our opponents are going to be affected by it too. We're still going to, you know, at the end of the day, basketball is still a half-court game. The game is won and executed in the half court. You're going to have to get shots at the rim. Like I said earlier, the team that makes more layups in high school basketball is going to win the game, regardless of the shot clock or not. Yeah, we're going to have a late in the possession play for how to counter it. We're going to do some things maybe defensively where we can get teams to take a shot late in the shot clock. But it still comes down to what we said earlier. If they take a shot late in the shot clock and miss it, it doesn't mean anything if you don't rebound it. So it's still going to come back to defense, rebounding, and can we get to the free throw line and make more layups and more free throws than the opponent?
What are some of your personal goals for this season, and how do they fit into the team goal of making it to state?
I'd say like a personal goal, you know. We don't worry too much about like the stats and all that. The goal is always to win, so like we've said, you know, being a leader, that's kind of how you can help start that. Every day of practice, making sure everyone's going hard, making sure yourself is going hard, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would just say personally, all I want to do is win. I don't really care about the stats. I'll do whatever it takes to get the win at the end of the day.
What are some of your personal strengths, and how do you contribute to the team this season?
Can you repeat that?
What are some of your personal strengths, and how do you think they'll contribute to the team this season?
I'd say a strength that I have is getting to the rim and like playing off 2 feet. And so, I mean, if I can do that successfully, then I can get other people involved, make everyone else better around me, passing the ball, stuff like that.
Same thing as him, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, passing, and then just like defensively.
How do you guys keep it fun?
That's a great question. First of all, winning games, that's the most fun. But yeah, like I said, it's a long season. We do try to do a team bonding activity at least once a year, whether it's in the past we went to a Husker basketball game or a local college game. We have great parents in our program who will host team dinners. We always try to end practice with something fun. You know, the day before a game, we have a certain tradition. It's a shooting competition we do. At times, at the end of practice, we'll have the older guys. I know last year the older guys coached our JV guys, and they had a JV inter-squad scrimmage, and the older guys coached them. That was fun. Just things like that to keep it light, to keep it fun, and you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, because you only get to play high school athletics once, so it's got to be fun. You know?
We're good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Lincoln Area High School Basketball Media Days. We are super excited now to be joined by Lincoln Northwest. So go ahead and ask you to introduce yourself. If you could say your name, your grade, and your position.
Leon Lozano, junior, small forward.
Okay, awesome. Now we're going to go to you guys for questions. We're going to have two people on the side here holding the mic. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. She'll bring it to you, and don't ask until you have the mic in your hand, please. Thank you.
Seeing as it's your guys' second year as a team, how do you build a culture and grow into more of a varsity level team being so brand new?
I'd say we don't argue in practice. We just take everything seriously, work hard every single day at our craft, just establish ourselves as a school.
How can you continue to grow? How can you continue to grow and be a leader of this team and have an impact on your younger teammates?
Just set an example in the hallways, outside. Just set an example in practice by just putting in the work, If they see older guys put in the work, they're going to put in the work too. And for future generations in Northwest, we're going to prosper. We're going to do great.
Yeah, you mentioned your craft. What does that look like personally?
Personally, I like to get up 500 shots at least a day, just so I can compete at the varsity level. You know what I mean?
Being JV last year, you know, you guys didn't have to worry that much about size and how you guys compared. But now that you guys are varsity, how do you expect your team to size up compared to the other teams?
Size-wise, I feel like it matters a lot in varsity basketball. But if we work together and if we just play solid defense and we just box out and get rebounds, because rebounds are very important, I think we're gonna match up size well, but we just need to box out, do our thing. We're gonna be good. Just play good defense. Just work hard. That's all you need to do.
Can you describe your game? Who are you as a player?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm somebody that's gonna get everybody looks. I'm a shooter. I'm a sniper, as they say. I'll shoot. I'll do whatever my coach asks me to do, and I just do my thing.
Do you have personal goals for this season?
Yeah, personal. I just want to give my teammates good looks. Want to put up I don't really care about stats. I just want to win games, and I love the feeling of winning, and I hate the feeling of losing. I just want to win games and just get our program on the map.
What's your ultimate goal as a team this year?
Our ultimate goal, just get established and just build a nice culture, just build a good culture around Northwest, you know?
You guys have a new coach from last year. How do you think your team will adapt to possibly a new playing style?
McGee's he's a really good coach, and our old coach was like very fundamental oriented, which is good. I feel like he's gonna take a little bit of the old coaches like principles and put them into like a more of a newer style of basketball that I feel like our team's gonna like a lot more.
In building a new program, do you feel more pressure or less pressure? Is it like the slate's clean, or is it like we got to get our first win in school history?
I want to get our first win in school history, but it's no pressure, you know? We're gonna get a win. You know what I mean? But if we really grind throughout the season, we're gonna get a win. It's not a lot of pressure. We just got to go out there and do it.
Which schools are you looking most forward to playing this season?
Varsity-wise, probably our first game away against Ashland Greenwood. We got destroyed by them last year, so you know we're going out there, and I played terrible. I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna go out there. We're gonna prove to them that we had a whole year to get prepared.
What does off-season preparation look like for you specifically?
For me, going in the weight room, putting up shots, working on my handles, you know, team bonding, doing what I can.
So the team bonding you talked about a little bit. How do you ensure that your team chemistry is at the level it needs to be to compete?
My team, you said what?
Team chemistry.
My chair is sinking. Let me just switch real quick. Oh, I feel so much taller.
So team chemistry, how do you guys ensure that it's at the level it needs to be?
Team chemistry? Like, what do you mean?
Like
Can
how you
repeat it?
play as a team, how you get along,
Oh,
friendship.
we just have to communicate on the floor. If we don't communicate on the floor, our whole entire offense is gonna fall apart.
How does your unique skill set fit into the team's style of play?
Unique skill set. I get everybody open. I'm a playmaker. I'm gonna get my teammates looks. I'm gonna get myself looks, and I just want to go out there and just help everybody out, and win the game.
Basketball's a really long season, so how do you guys stay in it from now until March?
It's really you really just need to just take away every other distraction that you have, something that's gonna hurt you, something that's gonna distract you from what you need. Obviously, grades come first, but for me, it goes grades in the school basketball. So anything else besides that, that's gonna knock me off my grind, I'm just not gonna focus on.
You've mentioned a few times getting your teammates looks. How important will success be for them to make those looks this season?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
You mentioned a lot of getting your teammates looks and getting open. How important will be for them to make those shots this season?
It'll be very important for me to get my teammates open and for them to knock down shots. You know, you need to score to win a basketball game. So I feel like if I can get them looks and they can knock down the shot, and I have trust and I have confidence in my teammates to knock down the shot, I feel like we're going to win.
Thanks for being here today. That's all we have. So
Thank you.
here to go. Hi everyone, welcome back to Lincoln Area High School Basketball Media Days. We're super excited to be joined by Lincoln Christian. So if you guys could just go ahead and introduce yourself, say for the players, grade, name, and position, and then coaches, whatever you feel is right.
My name's Cade Marshbanks. I'm a senior. I'm a player.
My name is Joel Feldo. I am also a senior. I'm a guard.
My name is Chad Hansen. I'm the head boys basketball coach.
My name is Kobe Hansen. I'm an assistant coach. I'm the JV head coach.
Okay, awesome. Now we'll go to you guys for questions. We're going to have some people on the side holding the mic, so if you have a question, just raise your hand. They'll bring you the mic and then ask once you have the mic.
What are you guys' goals for this upcoming season?
If you're going to ask me what our wins and loss record is, I'm not going to give a number. That's not how we define success at Lincoln Christian. We compete to win every day, and we want to win every game, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you look at the success, it's not going to come from the wins and loss records. It's going to come with the culture we create, the unity we have, and if we can make everybody in the program feel like they're part of it, that's the way I'm going to define success this year.
Yeah, emphasizing one word that Coach said there was unity. That's going to be our main goal this year, you know, being connected as a team and really, you know, having everybody know everybody type feel.
Kind of going off the unity, off the court, how do you build your connections and camaraderie with one another, and how does that translate to on the court?
I feel like just spending time with one another, just like maybe possibly even like having nights where you just get together as a team and just everyone, you just have a fun night and just do things that you can grow relationships with one another. And I feel like on the court that'll translate maybe into buckets, working hard on defense, whatever it might be, but it would just be good to see each other and just play hard together.
I think one thing that this year we're going to try to do is attend more of the younger kids games, the JV games, the reserve games, everybody do those type of things. We are a smaller school, so I think that does give us a little bit of advantage maybe with only having X amount of kids. We don't have 500 kids in a class. We got 50, so I think that is a advantage for us to be able to create communities. But yes, we're going to have team nights, go to other games, you know, go to girls games, go to those type of things, just create unity within the entire team.
What is the identity of the team that you guys are looking to create for the season?
I would just say like the most important thing to me is just being able to represent what it says on our jersey, how it says Christian on our jersey. I feel like that's the most important thing to our program. It's just being able to grow the kingdom of God and make relationships with one another and just giving it everything we have for His glory because He's proud in that and He loves and sees that out of us. Yeah.
I mean, I love these two kids right here. I mean, just hearing these guys talk about those type of things, I know that most schools can't do that. That just means a lot to me, that they can come up here and do that in front of everybody. But if you want an answer talking more about the basketball court, I mean, obviously that's the number one priority. But I do feel that one thing that I think the team maybe is overlooking a little bit is just how good we could be on the defensive end. I know everybody wants to shoot threes like Steph and dunk and do all these things. I really feel that we could have a special season on the defensive end if we can create that unity and everybody trusts each other. So I really feel that the defensive end could be a special thing for us this year.
I was up in the photo studio earlier, and Kate and Joel, you guys kind of have a good dynamic, just like goofing around and have a good relationship with one another. So how do you like translate those moments on the court, but then also know when to kind of lock in and be serious during the game?
Yeah, so I think, of course, going into senior year, you just want to enjoy it. You want to take everything in that moment, and I think we're going to do a lot of that. But there is also the point where it comes to, you know, when coach is like doing something and you're in a game and like you need to lock in for that moment. You have to know when that moment comes. Like you can't just always be messing around having the best time of your life, there's got to be times when you really just put your heart out there for it.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, last year it was kind of hard because Cade didn't play with me, and he's kind of like one of my guys out there. But I feel like I can trust him on the court, and I know that he's going to give it his best effort. He's going to work as hard as I'm going to work, and we got each other's back. So I know that when we go into battle and we're going to fight and trying to get a win, like, he's going to be there for me, and he's got my back and to help me up when I fall down.
So you guys, this is probably your first media day. You've gone through a lot of different stations. How does an opportunity like this set you up to get into a basketball mindset for the rest of your season that's upcoming?
I think for us, this was short notice for us. Okay, we found out about this on Friday, that this was an opportunity for us. I hesitated a little bit just with the timing, also who to take, who should be here, who shouldn't be here. But I think that being able to represent the school, the Christian school, the program, and these guys, it's an awesome experience for us. The other thing is this is my first year as the head coach at Lincoln Christian. I've involved with the program for multiple years on the boys and the girls side. So it's a unique thing because I actually was an assistant coach a couple years ago on the boys side. So I have relationships with these guys. But I did step away last year and I went to the girls side. But I just think that with that, it's going to be an exciting season. And just being the first year coach, it's a great opportunity just for the school, the program, and the players to have this opportunity.
So you've talked a lot about your Christian identity and just the people that make up the players. How do you guys translate what you're learning and what you're coaching on the court into real life?
So again, I think just with us being a smaller school, we have, I wouldn't say better relationships, just different relationships with all the players. This is actually my son, so this is a good fun opportunity to be able to coach with him. He actually played at Lincoln Christian a couple years ago with Cade's brother, Easton. So I think that the family atmosphere, the whole school is a little bit smaller, so it's more of a community. Everybody's there for the games. So I just think with, being the smaller school and the unity we have with all the relationships, we know most everybody in the school, so that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, and for the real life aspect of it too. I mean, we always talk about playing for an audience of one. There's always going to be people there watching you, either cheering you on or, going against you. And in the end, that really doesn't matter. Like in life, like if you're in a business meeting, if you're in whatever, like you got one person to please and you got one person watching you. And he gave you all the skills that you have, and that's God, and he's just cheering you on all the way.
For you two players, what does it mean to be a leader on this team, and what weight does that hold?
For me, being a leader is more than just thinking about myself and being selfish and getting the points that I deserve and the attention that I deserve and whatever from the media. But I feel like it matters about me taking leadership role and caring about each individual player. It doesn't matter if they're on varsity or not, or if they're the team manager or the coach or whatever they may be doing. But I care about each and every person, and I show them the love and the appreciation that they deserve each day. That's how I feel leading the team properly.
Yeah, and I remember from my sophomore year, there was the senior class that year was a team that really had an impact on me, and and kept me going. And then the year after that, I had an injury, it took me out for the year, and I remember I had that impact from the year before, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna take this time when I'm off the court, and I'm really gonna try to grow these relationships and try to strengthen these relationships. And even if you just touch one of those kids' hearts, and they're like, hey, I want to keep fighting because Cade or Joel or someone said something to me. That's a huge win for us.
What are you guys most excited for this season?
I'm just excited to play one more year of basketball. I mean, I didn't get to play last year, and it broke my heart. So to have another chance to go at it, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to get a little bit of atmosphere change, being at home all the time, just being able to play on the basketball court, have a basketball in my hands again. It's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, I'm just excited for, to be around the guys. I'm excited that, we've had the opportunities over the last few weeks to be able to do open gyms and do conditioning, but we technically can't do much coaching until starting Monday. 13th is our official first day, so it'll be exciting to be able to get started with all the guys and be able to start implementing what we want to do this year. So just really excited for next week.
Yeah, and for me, I'm just excited to be back in the program. Like, I actually played with these guys were sophomores or freshmen when I was there, and like I played with Cade's brother, and like just being back in the gym and with these guys, like I'm just excited to be with them and invest in them. So
yeah, having senior leaders like these guys makes it easier for me to come to the gym every day. I don't dread it right now. Maybe it will, but I'm really, it makes it easier when I can come, and these two guys are going to be, sticking by my side along with him, along with my other coaches. I think we got a pretty solid foundation right now. It's just a matter of creating that culture that can we turn that into wins and losses, to turn that into wins.
Kate, I know you kind of touched on like a senior player who kind of had an impact on you. How do you kind of take influence from those players, and then also, as you both are seniors, are able to influence new players coming into the team or the underclassmen?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me was, every day after practice or just getting a random text saying, hey, let's go to the gym. And that's a really cool thing coming from an upperclassman, because you're like, hey, they're thinking about me. Like, they want to get to know me. They want to invest in me. And that's like a really cool feeling as especially a younger kid, knowing that, there's an older kid out there that's, playing varsity, playing where I want to play. And they want to, help me, grow with me. And I think that's something that I can definitely implement. I've been working on that, trying to get younger guys into the gym with me, shooting around with me, going to grab lunch, whatever it is, and just building those relationships, because those go a long way on the court.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, like I kind of said earlier, just incorporating the whole program as a whole. But also, something that my dad was talking about me last night is when I was a little kid, like as an elementary student, like basketball's a big deal at Lincoln Christian. So you go and watch the games as an elementary student, and you want to be like the guys on the court. So just giving some time to point out to those like elementary students and like, hey, like I'm here for you too. Like I care about you guys just as much. Give them a wave or a high five or something. It goes a long way for those kids.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.